dogs live in the moment, right? That's what people say. But here's the truth. Dogs don't forget everything. In fact, there are certain things your dog will remember for a lifetime. But what exactly? Don't worry, we've got a list. But before all that, how does a dog's memory work? I mean, look, I don't mean to differ from the very thing you came to this video for, but if we're going to explore a list of things your dog will never forget, we first need to comprehend the ins and outs of how canine memory even functions, because it's not quite the same as ours. So let's start with the basics. How do dogs remember anything at all? The actual list is coming eventually, I promise. To boil it down to basics, dogs have two primary types of memory: associative memory and episodic-like memory. Associative memory is simple enough. It's all about connections. Your dog remembers that the sound of your keys jingling means you're about to leave the house, because they associate the sound of keys with all the other times you've left. They remember that the treat jar means snacks, or that the vacuum cleaner means it's time to hide. Stimuli gets associated with certain events, hence the rather clever name, associated memory. But episodic-like memory? That's a tad trickier. Dogs may not remember a specific birthday party or exactly what they did last Tuesday, but studies suggest they do retain emotional snapshots. For example, how something felt, who was there, and what happened as a result. A weird way of describing it is, they forget details, but they never forget a vibe. As a result, they remember a lot more about you and how you make them feel than you might think, if not the exact ins and outs of everything that happened. With all that in mind, what are some of the things your dog remembers more than anything else? Number 1, your scent. Here we go, the list proper. And just to keep you on your toes, one of these things will be a lie. Let us know in the comments which one you think it is, just for a bit of fun. And no, we've not included that one in the number in the title, so you're not being cheated of a fact. Don't freak out. So one of the most powerful things your dog will always remember is your scent. Because good grief, do you stink? A dog's nose has around about 300 million scent receptors, a colossal upgrade from a human's measly 5 million. They can identify a unique one-of-a-kind scent on literally every living creature. And because you're the one who does so many nice things for them, who feeds them and takes them on walks, your scent becomes associated with good times. So it burrows into their brain like a favorite song. Your unique musk is firmly planted in their memory forever. Even after longer periods apart, months or even years, dogs have been known to recognize their owner's scent instantly. Literally instantly. Some dogs in shelters have been known to perk up the second a long-lost owner visits, simply because of the familiar smell wafting toward them. As alluded to, a large part of why they remember your scent so strongly is because they associate it with all the good things you do for them, which rather organically leads us to our next point. Number 2, how you treat them. Dogs absolutely remember how they've been treated. They remember how well you treat them, which is why they freak out with joy when they see you. But they also remember how badly they've been treated by those who've been unkind as well. Whether it's kindness, cruelty, patience, or fear, those emotional imprints don't just fade. A dog who's been abused may always flinch at certain gestures. A dog who's been loved consistently will trust more deeply and seek affection more freely. But to be clear, this isn't about holding grudges. Your dog doesn't exactly dwell on things in the same way you do. They don't stay up all night ruminating on something someone did like we do. No, Steven, I will never forgive you for eating my sandwich. It had my name on it. But a dog's brains and even bodies remember patterns of treatment. If you have been kind and loving to them, they remember it. If a prior owner was far from that, they sadly remember it just as clearly, if not clearer. When you are patient during training, when you speak gently, when you advocate for them, they don't remember the details because, as touched upon, that's not quite how their memory works. But very loving acts stack up to build a general vibe of who you are. And it's a good vibe because you're great. I mean, I assume you are. I don't know you. But nobody who watches our videos has bad vibes, so it just makes sense. Number 3. Routines and habits. We've talked a lot on this channel about how dogs don't just respect your schedule, but actively enjoy being a part of it. And a large part of that is because they remember it all. They know when it's time for a walk. They anticipate when you usually come home. They recognize the sound of your coffee machine, the rustle of the leash, the cue that dinner's about to happen. You might find them waiting at the door around the time you take them for a walk, or lingering by the bowl about around the time you normally feed them. Because they actively remember how the average day goes down in your house. Even subtle routines stick. If you actually scratch their ears before bed or sing in the shower, they notice, and they come to expect it. Because these rituals create a sense of stability, security, and safety. For that reason, if your routine changes suddenly, like you have a new job with drastically different hours, your dog can wind up feeling off balance, and maybe even lash out for a little while as a result. That's how strong the memory of habit is. It can literally upset them when their memory of how things are supposed to be is proved incorrect. A curious thing you might notice, if you drastically reinvent your daily routine, but then months later pivot to the old routine, your dog will remember the details of the old routine and will immediately sync with it, because their muscle memory is kicking in. It's like playing a video game you've not touched since you were a kid, but instinctively knowing how to complete each level. The memory of the old way is still in them and can be reactivated if need be. So when you return to an old routine after time away, your dog doesn't need to relearn it. They pick it right back up as easily as riding a bike. I mean, dogs don't ride bikes, but I couldn't think of a better example, so leave me alone. Number 4. Seinfeld Trivia. Your dog can remember mountains of trivia about the American sitcom Seinfeld. Yep, seriously. I'm not joking, I swear. They're experts in it. Don't question me. Number 5. Places you've been together. There is something incredibly adorable you may be familiar with. You have a routine walk you do with your dog twice a day, every day. A nice, gentle stroll around the park that they have come to love. And sure, they freak out with glee when they know it's time to go for that walk. But you might have a different walk for special occasions. Perhaps a stroll down the beach that requires a quick trip in the car. A beach stroll you only have the time to do once a month, or less. So your dog and you get in the car because it's beach day, and all is normal. But then suddenly, once they realize they are going to the beach, chaos is unleashed. The joy they express when popping to the park is nothing compared to the raw, unbridled tornado of optimistic revelry that is unleashed at the promise of the gosh darn beach. This is because dogs remember places, especially if those are places they have the pleasure of experiencing with you, be it the beach or a friend's house where your nice friend lives or wherever else. This is both spatial awareness combined with the emotional memory, because it all ties back to what we were discussing earlier. How a dog's memory is more about vibes. Do you see now why I made you wait for this list? It was important info to get out of the way up top, guys. I know what I'm doing. They're not just remembering the place. It's more about how the place has made them feel. They remember the beach because of the feeling of fun they had there with you. They remember your friend's house because your friend scratched them behind the ears and made them feel good. Even years later, returning to a special place can trigger instant excitement or comfort, because for your dog, it's not just geography, it's part of their shared adventure through life with you. Number 6. Your emotions. But the craziest thing about your dog's emotion-based memory, it means they don't just remember their feelings, they remember yours. It's time for some proper science. I love it when we do proper science. Research shows that dogs can recognize and remember human emotional expressions. As an example, if you were anxious during a thunderstorm, your dog likely stored that memory. So they will know that when a thunderstorm happens again, that you might not like it. And unless they are also too freaked out, they may endeavor to comfort you. If you were joyful during playtime, that emotion became part of their memory, and they remember that you enjoyed it, just as much as they did. It is well known that your dog reads your mood at the moment, but it is less well known that they actually develop something of a general picture of how you feel about certain things. Your moods become part of their emotional landscape, and over time they build a memory of you and what you like and don't. They come to remember you as so much more than the butler who feeds them, but as someone who feels joy alongside them. So the next time you wonder if your dog remembers the little things, the answer is yes. Granted, not with words or details, but with scent, sound, and routine. And most crucially, emotions. Because they remember what matters. And to your dog? Well, heck, that's you. Your dog remembers all sorts. I don't mean the licorice. And yes, that includes you. So treat them the best you can, because they'll remember. Want to know how to be the best of the best when it comes to being a dog owner? Then this next video is for you.